You got Rolls Royces and all in the back there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi YouTube, welcome to Anglik Robi żuka, episode 12. Before my van update, I'm going to spend 2 minutes on a vehicle I found, and it's not this Rolls Royce. It appeared in a field at the end of my road, and I had to go and take a look. This is a green goddess, only this one is red, but the reasons for that will become apparent.
You drove it all the way?
And I got a feeling when we were disbanded in 68, it was sent over to Malta.
Yep, this one went to Malta.
Right.
And why am I featuring this? Not getting on with my żuk update? Well, because this is like a giant żuk.
How fast is much faster?
About 10 mile an hour fast.
What's top speed?
50.
Those quick to dismiss the żuk and Nisa's long service life should take note. Built between 1953 and 1956, these saw active duty as recently as 2002 during the firefighters' strikes in the UK. This is Ted. He was in the auxiliary fire service. He actually owns 2 of these, but as he's 83, the red one is now up for sale. Bonus point if you can guess what goes in here. To give it its full name, the Bedford RLHZ self-propelled pump was designed to roll into action in the aftermath of a nuclear attack by the Soviet Union. But the Kremlin never launched its nuclear missiles, and in 1968 the auxiliary fire service was disbanded and the Green Goddess fleet was put in storage. It's hard to believe that in 2002 there were still 827 of these vehicles ready to go. Thanks for taking a trip down memory lane with me. Let me know in the comments if there are any vehicles you think I should do a quick review of. Now, before anyone gets too chilled out, it's time for my żuk update. And pun intended, this is going to be a whistle-stop tour because I've been off doing things like driving this steam train. But don't worry, I'm catching a plane in 9 days' time to film something exciting and żuk related. If you subscribe and hit the little bell, you'll be notified when I post that video. Now, yes, it looks a bit of a mess, but that's because I've decided to completely rewire it. The first progress this month relates to banishing these heaters forever. If you want them, hit me up in the comments. I've got 3 of them, including the large one for the back. So what's going to be replacing them is a single 5 kilowatt fan heater, which after I cut back this angle iron, should fit nice and snug against the bulkhead. Okay, so the old ventilation system was useless, and now there are pedals in the way. So it's time to cut some new holes and fit some new vents. And yes, it's funny I'm fitting air vents while there's still holes in the floor. But in my defence, it is important to get all of the heating and plumbing done at the same time. These vents are directional and can be shut off totally. Oh yeah, in other news, the żuk has had an oil bath because a car's turbo exploded. Anyway, back to the long-running brake and clutch fitting. The clutch master and slave cylinder are now fitted and are joined with a flexible link and high-quality copper-nickel brake pipe. The Lublin servo and master cylinder are now bolted to the bulkhead. There's the small matter of tidying up where we butchered the bonnet lid, plumbing the rest of the brake lines, and finding a different way to hold the whole thing open. Maybe gas lifters. Yes, there's been a lot of pictures of the pedal box, but there's now some real progress. We have our first pedal, the clutch. And now a short interlude. I'm going to give you another reason why I haven't done as much work on the Zuk as I should have. But if you press that subscribe button, I'll redouble my efforts and get the Zuk driving this summer. But I also want to show you the other cool stuff we've built over the years. Like this 3-litre Opel Ascona C, for example, that sat on my driveway for 5 years. But I'm happy to say it's up and running again, and I'm really chuffed. Now back to the main project. I got a Land Rover Defender radiator frame off eBay, chopped out the front panel in order to give it a flat surface to mount on, bought a new 3-core aluminium radiator, and started cleaning up the distorted old frame. You can see it's going to be a really nice fit. Oh yeah, by going with a Defender radiator, I can also use it as an oil cooler in the future. Do you remember at the start of this video when I said the electrics were a nightmare? Well, they're a nightmare because this is what happened to my dash. So I decided to come up with my own placeholder dash and do some long-term planning for the early sadness dash that I have. Unfortunately, that meant disassembling the old dashboard, but I do have a shiny new fuse box to fit instead. I'm still not sure whether I'll mount the switches to the metal of the old dash directly, or whether I'll make up a new chrome plate. So I decided that it'd be best to use an alloy door push and just quickly drill in the switches that I wanted to use as a temporary control panel while I'm rewiring everything. I've also worked to finish the end of the heating installation. This involves fitting of a temperature control and a fan switch. Never ceases to amaze me where the Zuk rusts. Interesting fact? Okay, it's not an interesting fact, it's kind of a necessary fact. The Zuk dashboard is double skinned, so you have 2 holes every time. Thanks to Paul, who managed to put a perfect bend in my Bowden cable, I was able to run the fan switch and the heater controls. All men take note, the side of the cabin I mounted these controls on. Finally, something I'm not ready to fit yet, but came up on eBay and I just couldn't refuse. They're from a truck, they're brand new, and they should be £1,250 each, but I paid 7 times less than this. Now, I must be off. We've got 2 more videos coming up, the Zuk adventure in Poland and a fabrication video. But do let me know if you want me to post the footage of my footplate experience. Until then, stay happy, Zukers.